I went relive, but that's annoying. Play some. Well, this is awkward.
In this spot in particular, just nobody out there to compete. Nobody.
Why did it just auto played like another channel? Whoops. I reset the stream here.
Oh, you're back up?
Yeah, but it's not a native reset here, so I don't know how this is gonna.
I think we're back. No, yes. Okay.
Kinda. It started a new stream. You're
back.
We
Yeah,
back.
we back.
Did you guys have to refresh the initial link? My bad, chat. For some reason, the stream just straight up died. I don't understand what the issue was. We back out here though. Maybe we'll give people.
Plays were too fire.
That almost never happens. I guess I should probably tweet the new link. Did it die again? No, we're good, right? No, okay. What is this? One.
I think we're good to go now.
Yeah, I definitely think we're live, but for some reason, skip frames detected 26% over the last 2 minutes. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. All right, let me get this link back up and tweet it out. Chat, if you guys are watching, maybe hook us up with a retweet in a second. Stream died. We back live chopping up tonight's NBA DFS slate. You guys are on Twitter. Hit me up with that retweet. Also, I probably have to get a new chat up. Wait, you checked the mail? You got it? Dude, this has literally never happened, like, ever.
First for everything, I guess.
Huh? Got ID? Nice.
We back.
Yeah, we're back. I just gotta get the I'm gonna add the chat up. Give a couple minutes for the viewers to get back in here. But that's so unfortunate. So unlucky. And then you guys that are watching on YouTube, give me just a second and I'll fix it to where we have the right chat up on the screen. My bad, chat. My internet didn't die. I was talking to you the whole time. And I was like, dude, I don't think we're live. Maybe YouTube's tripping because I'm looking at it now. It could be a YouTube thing.
YouTube problems.
I'll open this up. If it dies again, though, we'll probably just pull the plug. But I think we're good. Do you have MLB stream today? No. But I like if people actually do care, I might tweet a couple thoughts about it. But my first glance on that slate was really yucky. And we had an early slate to work on, and then I had some I needed people I had some stuff in real life to do earlier. But tonight's baseball slate doesn't look great. Dude, YouTube is bugging. I'm starting to think it was a YouTube connectivity issue, but I'm trying to get it to. All right, F it. I'm just gonna. Tomorrow though, chat, it's gonna be me and. Oh yeah, this is definitely a YouTube thing. It's so. Did the other guys crash too? I think they might have. I think it was a YouTube thing. All right, I was like, my internet didn't die. What the heck? Tomorrow, chat, there won't be any streams on this channel. At least not a baseball stream. I'm gonna be on the Osmo channel for a baseball breakdown with Alex, the big dog. Tomorrow, though, chat. and then same on Friday. So apologies in advance. All right, let's get to this shot up, and then we'll get back into it. But it looks like other streams crashed too. So if this goes down again, though, probably won't be back. Anyway, we were talking about the Spurs and the Raptors. Raptors really bad at rebounding. They're also pretty short. Malachi Flynn get a whole lot of minutes for a little bit of a price. Jakob Poeltl, 6,100 on DraftKings. I'm looking for 30 fantasy points. I definitely think this is a matchup that could obtain that. And then Siakam at 8.6, 8.5. He got there last night. With that, Khem Birch seems like a solid shot as a value play. And he also, I think, is a guy that could lower the ceiling on Chris Boucher if we had some invested Boucher interest. All right. What's up, chat? What up, Jordan, Dez, T-Spaz, Paul? Hey, if you guys follow me on Twitter, man, hook me up with a retweet. Now more than ever, since we had that midstream crash, it looked like it was a universal YouTube thing. YouTube usually doesn't have one problem at once, and then it's solved in a second. So if we go down again, if we go dark again, probably would not be back online. So just look out for that. Let's move on to the next game here. Knicks at the New Orleans Pelicans. Project starting five for the Knicks. Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Nerlens Noel taking on Eric Bledsoe, Wes Iwundu, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Stone Cold Steven Adams. Going to get one board. What? 219.5 star total, 2.5 point spread in favor of the New Orleans Pelicans. Knicks are kind of a team we don't really target a whole heck of a lot, but Julius Randle is at the peak of my interest for the Knicks. He is 9.4, 9.5. I need that 50-plus fantasy point threshold. A little bit of fun revenge narrative going on against the Pelicans front court. Zion, perhaps a guy that could be a Randle type with some development. And it's just a great matchup for Julius Randle. So Randle is definitely somebody that's going to be in my pool. Probably going to put him as a tier 3 just because of the pace of this game. And my priorities are heightened elsewhere for like the De'Aaron Foxes, Russell Westbrooks. But Randle definitely somebody I'd be looking at. And Nerlens Noel isn't out of consideration at 4,300. Just not something I'm running to. On the Pelicans side, perhaps no Lonzo Ball, no Josh Hart, no NAW. If that's the case again today, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson are kind of the 1-2 punch here. Ingram's at a softer landing at 8-1, 8-6, where I can live with 40-plus fantasy points. Zion, you kind of need that 50 at this point. Right now, I got him projected just about 50 fantasy points. So if you want to play some Zion, like I'm not going to talk it down off the ledge. I do wonder if we're at the point where we're paying for ceiling, but I think that's that's up to you guys to decide whether you roster him or not. Raj, what do you do with Knicks and Pelicans?
So I think Julius Randle here, good spot against Pelican teams. Not going to play a lot of defense. Could be a 50-point spot for him. Other than that, probably nobody on the Knicks really intrigues me. Just too many guys at their point guard position with Rose, Payton, quickly, all kind of healthy. New Orleans with Lonzo Ball questionable. I think you can go right back to guys like Ingram and Zion. It's a pace down spot for them, huge pace down spot. So I think 10K Zion is tough to get to, 9-9 on DK, but viable. But I don't think there's any tier 1 plays on this game. You could definitely write off this game if you're kind of limiting your entries.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at here. I think I'll have tier 3 shots on Randle and maybe Zion and Ingram on that small forward spot on FanDuel. So usually a pretty shallow position to kind of fill out. So Ingram probably just makes the cut for me. Probably not a Bledsoe spot for me. Derrick Rose, no, I'm probably not. Yeah, I'm not going too crazy there. Let me catch up on chat here. Solo says Murray, White, DeRozan, Wiggins, Anderson, Porter, Birch, Porzingis, Eubanks, FanDuel. Okay, all right. Don't like this game. It's ugly. It's still the Knicks against a a bottom 4 defense, and it's the Pelicans against a top 4 defense. So we could benefit on the Knicks side here, and I think RJ Barrett's kind of at a price point where he wouldn't stun you if he got 30-plus, and same with Randle. But, yeah, no priority plays for me here. Let's move on to the next game. Chicago Bulls hosting the Orlando Magic. Project starting 5 for the Magic MCW. Dwayne Bacon, James Ennis, Chuma Okeke, and Wendell Carter Jr. taking on Tomas Satoransky, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Thaddeus Young, Nikola Vucevic. We got 214 total, 9.5 point spread. Favor the home team Chicago Bulls. Raj, you see the Orlando Magic tweet the other day about saying that they have their highest team rating since X year, and like the intern highest defensive rating, and the intern like tweeted it as a point of pride, and they have since deleted that tweet. So apparently somebody involved with Magic Twitter doesn't understand how defensive ratings work. But the Magic defense really, really bad right now. I mean, this is just a glued together YMCA team at best. There's really not a reason for me to get there today on a massive slate. You could paint a Wendell Carter Jr. revenge narrative all you want. But I don't really have anyone at 30 minutes, and it's just like if I get beat by a Magic player on this size of a slate, then I'm going to get beat. On the Bulls side, Vucevic, if you want some revenge narrative, sure. He probably happy to be out of there, 9-1, 9-2. Looking for 50 fantasy points. Can you get it? Sure. Zach LaVine's back to that 9K price point. Not a whole lot to love price-wise, but I guess usage-wise and upside-wise, LaVine and Vucevic are at least worth consideration. Are you doing anything special with this one? Just a 214 total?
I mean, you got Mo Bamba, who's questionable. You got Chuma Kuke, who's questionable. If those guys sit, is this finally a Wendell Carter sees 35 minutes spot? If he sees 35 minutes, I want some Wendell Carter. He always kind of does well. You give him 35 minutes, I think he has 40-point upside here, if not more. So I think Wendell Carter, if those guys both sit. And other than that, I mean, Zach LaVine's been on tear, but in this low total, kind of a tough spot to get to.
Same. I'm probably not prioritizing anything here. I don't even know that I would have Vooch and LaVine at the end of the night. I might put him in a pool as a tier 3. But, man, 9K on LaVine? Would you rather just gamble on Kyrie at that point? I don't know, man.
I think Kyrie's upside's more than LaVine.
Yeah. Move on to the next game here. Los Angeles Clippers at the Detroit Pistons. Projects already 5 for the Clippers. Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, and Ivica Zubac taking on Kojo, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee. You got 216.5 total, 3-point spread for the visiting Clippers. Clippers without Patrick Beverly, without Paul George, without Kawhi Leonard are still road favorites on night 2 of a back-to-back. How you feel about that, Detroit? Reggie Jackson, revenge game. There's so many revenges tonight. This one I can get behind. Not necessarily because of the revenge narrative, but because of the potential boost in usage as the last of the Mohicans in terms of usage ball handlers here. Reggie Jackson could put up 40 fantasy points. I don't mean that as a joke. I think it's a possible range of outcomes here. So I'm going to have some Reggie, 5-6 on both sides. And then Marcus Morris, and leaned on him pretty bullishly last night. I'm fine with going back to the well here. I'm looking for 30. And I think as a median range of outcome, I think 30 is the answer. You got 36 last night, 44 the game prior. Should be involved enough and get enough peripherals. So I don't hate the Reggie Marcus Morris handcuff. I think Batum put together a solid game last night. You can see Zubac be a PPM guy. And then Terrence Mann, if you got him a decent chunk of minutes, wouldn't be stunned if he put together a solid game. He's definitely the 100K to first guy in our parts. But Reggie Jackson looks like a potential core play for me. Raj, are you with me there?
I hear you. Reggie Jackson core play. I mean, I think Marcus Morris Sr. Core play for sure. Reggie Jackson, I think. I mean, man, you still got Terrence Mann there. Like I wanted kind of tier 1 Reggie Jackson. I'm just not all that comfortable with him at his price tag. I just think he could be like an okay play. They'll get you, 28 to 30 at 5,600, which is fine. Get you 15 real life points.
But he could get you 40.
He could, but I like Marcus Morris Sr. more. I think I might like Terrence Mann more too. Just 1v1 maybe. I don't know. Just 1v1. I think I might like Terrence Mann more than Reggie Jackson.
Bro, I don't know, man.
I could be off base there. I could be off base, but that's the way I'm leading right now. Do I get to any Rondo in a back-to-back? No, I think they're kind of limiting his minutes, so probably not going to get to any Rondo. I think I want a third guy. I mean, a Nicholas Batum can kind of just fill up the stat sheet here, get you 30 plus. Don't hate it. I think Zubac is intriguing, 5,400. If he sees 30 minutes here, it could be a big game. So obviously, all these Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George out, definitely in play. Detroit size. I mean, Corey Joseph is seeing 30 minutes. 32, 30, 32 past 3 games. So I think he's viable at 4,700. Not a comfortable click, but he's an option. Jeremy Grant is 6,900. Much easier matchup with no Kawhi, no Paul George. He should be able to do anything he wants on the court. So I think there's definitely some room for upside there. And I think that's it. So Jeremy Grant, Corey Joseph, and with the Clippers, I mean, do you start with 2 to 3 Clippers in every lineup?
No, not in every lineup, but Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris seem pretty doggone solid to me. I think I'm way higher on Reggie than you are. Also, Reggie has a 33% assist rate in this lineup, so I don't know if we can get some soft assist totals. Maybe I'll check out PrizePicks in a minute. But if it's at like 4 or 5, I might take the over on Reggie there. And then revenge, like most 99% of revenge games are like a joke, but I can see Reggie put a little spunk on some play here in Detroit. So I'm gonna be higher. I'm gonna be real high on Reggie, and then Nick Batum is a hard click, man. It is, but if we look at some sample size from the season, there is reason to play him. I think I would put him in the same boat as we talked about Solomon Hill yesterday. If you play Nick Batum, understand that the ceiling comes with no floor. He can score as little as 14. But 3 games straight of Nick Batum, 25-plus fantasy points, and the last 2 games exceeding 30 fantasy points. So it is a range of outcome. And then you take out the Paul George, you take out the Kawhi. There's no Serge Ibaka. There's a world where Nick Batum plays 30 minutes today in a soft matchup and does a little bit of everything. Now, 5 blocks last night, a little bit on the fake side, 3 blocks the game prior, a little bit on the fake side. But even if you remove those from the mix, you're still 25 to 30 fantasy pointing it. So I don't mind. I don't mind some Batum. I'm probably staying away from the Pistons side altogether. Really don't see any safety on this slate. I got 11 guys at like 13 or more minutes, so I'm probably just not going to touch the Pistons today. Let's get caught up on chat here. Lock Kyrie, he hears the noise. He's fine. Make your revenge lineups, people. So many. You definitely could make a full revenge lineup tonight, probably. Morris played for Detroit as well. Marcus Morris, I think. Did both of them play for? Definitely no one of them did. Hill killed me last night. Dang. Let's move on to the next game here. Houston Rockets host the Indiana Pacers. Projects 35 for the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert, Justin Holiday, Domantas Sabonis, and maybe Miles Turner. Taking on John Wall, Kevin Porter, Jayshawn Tate, Kelly Olynyk, and Christian Wood. We got 234 as our total. 4.5 point spread favor the visiting Indiana Pacers. So a pretty high total. Your eyes should be open like, whoa. Looking at the Pacers side, we definitely want to be cognitive of the status of Miles Turner. If he's unable to go, obviously he's going to create deeper minutes and opportunity for Sabonis. And then a couple backups. Nate Bjorkgren said after Tuesday's loss to the Clippers that Miles Turner sprained left ankle may be able to return the action in this game against the Rockets. He's missed 4 games straight. So look out for Turner's status. If he can or can't go, it makes him an interesting play at 6K looking for 30+. If he doesn't, Sabonis is in a really soft matchup. And I think we have to, if you look at this game tonight versus like last night's game, at least pre-flop, pull up Sabonis here to kind of show you what he did last night. But last night they played the Clippers. Rockets are a better matchup. The Rockets are one of the best matchups in the league right now, and their defense is really, really bad. So Sabonis 9-1 last night. Maybe some people get soured off of him. Understand that Karis LeVert had a near-ceiling game last night, which obviously is going to eat away from the ceiling of Sabonis. But it's a big spot for Sabonis to have a high rebound game, perhaps a 25-30 real point game. So Sabonis definitely in my mix here as a shot at 50 fantasy points, and then if Turner was out, I think those minutes are even safer. On the Rocket side, Christian Wood, I got him at 35 minutes, man. This Pacers front court has been a fine spot, and I don't think Wood would be anything more than like a tier 3 shot for me right now, but at 8K for 35 minutes in a plus matchup, like 50 fantasy points is in the wheelhouse here. You saw him do that against the Phoenix Suns. Definitely no pushover matchup there, and I think a point per minute is probably the expectation, and if you can project this game to stay competitive outside of blowouts, like I think he's been really solid for point per minute performance. So I can live with the 40+, but I think 50+ is in the cards here. You can make a case for John Wall, 8.4 AK. Kevin Porter had a big game against the Suns that game. And then Kelly Olynyk, 6'1", 6'5". If you're looking for a shot at 30 fantasy points with a little bit of upside, maybe it's not a positive correlation to Wood's game log, but ever since joining the Rockets, dude, look how consistent he's been, just dropping 30 to 30 plus, 28 against the Suns. Doesn't miss the mark by much. So I do think there's very, very playable names on the Rockets side today. And then on the Pacers, Sabonis is easily my favorite. Did Karis LeVert show you anything last night that makes you think we should get right back on board here? 7-4. Obviously, if he dropped 50 again at either one of these price points, he'd probably be a chip in a chair to be one of the top lineups. But is that one of those, okay, he had a great game, he'll come back down to earth, which is 35 to 40? Or do you think there was something to that game last night, and now he gets the curtain call against one of the worst defenses in the league? He had 13 free throw attempts last night, which is almost, 3.5, 4 times his usual? But that's back-to-back 50 bombs for Karis LeVert. Is it time?
So, I mean, this game is a game I think could outscore the Washington-Sacramento game. Indiana's been a team you just kind of stack against and play against the past couple of games. With no Miles Turner, with Sabonis kind of manning the 5 a little bit. This is a team that's bottom 5 defensively. Like, their defensive rating is terrible. So, I like John Wall. If he's 35 minutes, he had a bad shooting game last game. At 8K, he has 50-point upside. He shot 5 for 20. Shoots 12 for 20. He could break the slate. Give me him. Christian Wood, bigs against this Indiana team is the thing we've been targeting all year with no Miles Turner, even a bigger bump. And Kevin Porter, he's a guy at 6'6". He's playing the minutes. The usage is there. He had 14 assists last game. It's a little fake, but I think he can definitely get you 40 plus in a good game streak there and a good matchup pace up spot. So those 3 I'll have in the pool. The Indiana side, you mentioned Sabonis. I think he'll be great. Obviously, he had a bit of a down game because LeVert and Brogdon kind of both had good games. But bigs against Houston, we love to target. Give me Sabonis. And I think Brogdon at his price 7-1 on DK is there's upside there. 62-41 past couple of games. You'll take that. I think he has 50-point upside here, so some of him. And Karis LeVert, I think you just got to play him at 7-4 on DK with 50-point upside. I mean, why not? It's the Houston Rockets. He's going to score points. He's going to pick up the peripherals. I think he's probably going to be a consistent 35-40 guy, and a good spot's 50+. I think it's a good spot. So I think you want to kind of have him in the pool too. I think all these guys might be tier 2 for me. Yeah, I think they're all tier 2. I don't know if anyone cracks as a tier 1, but I think they're all definitely in play.
Yeah. Junel says, do we go right back to Bridges for a bounce back? So I'm going to go back to Bridges for the minutes. I mean, 34 to 37 minutes is an amazing opportunity. He wouldn't be a tier 1 for me tonight, though. The slate's too vast for me to get over-invested on him, especially if I didn't have to leverage-wise, if he falls at 10% or less. I don't have to be that aggressive. So he could be a 25%er, and I'd still be fine. The Dingo Warrior. What you know about the Ultimate Warrior? I like Kendrick Nunn and Flynn tonight. Good values for the minutes. I definitely like Malachi Flynn. I'd imagine you're on Kendrick Nunn because of Dragic being out and potentially Jimmy Butler. We'll talk about that, but I think you're in the right spot, Drew. Welcome to the channel. I think I've seen your name before. Anything else in the chat? All right, boom. Let's move on to the next game here. Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Golden State Warriors. Project starting 5 for the Warriors. Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kent Bazemore, Draymond Green, and Kevin Looney taking on Theo Maledon. Lou, 42 real point Dort, Alexis Pokusevski, maybe Darius Baisley and Moses Brown. 223.5 total, 11 point spread in favor of the Warriors. Thunder night 2 of a back-to-back. See if I can get updates on the Thunder injury report. I'm also trying to keep an eye on this Yankee game, tied in the 9th, going in the bottom of the 9th here. Hopefully the Blue Jays
walk off for the Jays.
I'd almost rather lose to a walk-off than lose to this stupid man on second bullcrap that is impending. What was I looking up? Thunder. All right, so last night I think we had like a surprise active on. Was it Isaiah Roby? Yeah, he was expected to be out and then ended up being in. And then Pokusevski now is listed as won't play versus Utah. So I don't have an update here. Chat, I'm not gonna play the Thunder. Raj, you gonna play Thunder? Is Lou Dort 5'5"? Like,
there's no way I'm playing Lou Dort after.
come on, man.
You don't have elevated ownership. Like,
Imagine losing 2 nights in a row.
Bro, if he had 30 real life points again, I'm quitting DFS. I'm over it. It's tilting. Golden State's interesting. No Oubre.
What's crazy is it's like a way better matchup than the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, right? So, I mean, maybe he's going to see the minutes. Clearly going to have the usage. You might just have to go back. Like, I think he's still good for, like, what, 25?
Yeah, I mean,
30?
if 30 is your median range outcome, like, go
5,500, like, that's fine. And now I could say Lou Dort has 60-point upside every game, so I'm going to throw that out there. So, 60-point upside against the Golden State Warriors, one of the worst defense in the league. I don't hate it. Steph Curry, I think, is interesting. Point guard, 10-5. No Oubre. Coming off 55, 54, 59, 69. I mean, he could outscore Fox or Russell Westbrook. So I think Steph Curry got to have in the pool. I would not ignore him here.
All right. I'm going to make a statement here. Lou Dort is in play.
Yep.
And the reason being is I think this is a soft matchup, higher pace game. And it's not even really a scoring, like, I'm not playing him for 42 real points, but he is a peripheral getter, right? He's known as a high defensive guy, and he'll fill up the stat sheet here. So if you kind of just like peruse his game log to kind of see what he's offering, a lot of steal potential, but a lot of games he's getting near 30 fantasy points. And at 5.5K, we'd take 30. If he drops 40 because of the matchup, if he drops 50, sure, I'll buy it. So he's in the pool. Now that I've said that, where do we put him as a tier 1, 2, or 3? I'd probably put him in a 3 spot for me, but we'll see what's going on with the rest of the Thunder here. I still have a lot of guys potentially getting missed tonight. If Pokusevski's in, he's definitely been a guy that has been a scorer for them. Darius Bazley's back in the mix, so I just think they have a very, very high variable lineup. It reminds me a lot on the season, the campaign of the Pistons, where one guy would go off, and it was like never a consistent one guy. I think the Thunder could be that situation here. Steph Curry makes a lot of sense. You mentioned 10-3, 10-5. On the grand scheme of this slate, Steph Curry, if you had to make a single entry lineup, Steph Curry's at 10.5K. That's 800, 700 more than Kyrie, almost 1,000 more than De'Aaron Fox, and then $500 away from Russell Westbrook. So if you were to make one lineup, is the Oubre-less Kyrie or Curry your guy or nah?
I mean, yeah. I mean, give me. I want to say what percentage of Kyrie? Maybe 20%. I mean, what's his floor here? 45, 50. I mean, I just don't see a world where.
In my projections, and my projections are all over the place right now. I got to do a major sweep. But I had Curry at 55 DraftKings points, which I believe is going to be good for the most on the slate. Yeah, above Luka and Westbrook. Again, I got a lot of tweaking to do because a lot of crap has happened. And like before I went on the air, a lot of news was just dropping. And I was like, crap. So I got to adjust a lot. But I don't imagine that's going to change inherently because I already had the Oubre factored out and all that good stuff. So I guess the only pushback would you think the defense of Lou Dort did something here, but it doesn't for me. So yeah, if he's like, and I'm in a weird spot right now where I feel like I like Westbrook more. I feel like I like De'Aaron Fox more, maybe points per dollar. But my own projections are saying, hey, Steph Curry's the highest scorer. Play him. So, I don't know. Maybe I have to listen to my own stuff. We do have a double-digit spread here. We are seeing the Thunder catching a back-to-back coming out of that Utah altitude. So, yeah. But I think in one lineup, I think I wouldn't. I think I would go the Fox-Westbrook route. But maybe I'm just a sucker.
That's a chalk. Is the fuck. But I mean,
okay. Well, then I'm a basic B.
God yeah, we're that's chalk donkey play. If you want to pivot, I think Steph Curry, and I think he has similar. I mean, almost the exact same upside as those guys. Unless you believe in the Lou Dort shutting down star player narrative.
Boba Fett with a walk-off homer. I believe that's his second homer of the game. It is, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Oof. The pain. I'm glad we didn't bet after that
I should have made it quick. Another bet too.
After that Garrett Cole start. Oh, that's not what you want. That's not what you want.
Yeah, wait, this is the second game of the series, right?
This is the third game. They won the series.
Oh, god damn! I should have made a bet.
You should have.
Well, I'm not gonna bet after you. Like, oh, you want to make a bet after the Yankees in the first game?
You should. You literally should have. Not my fault. You don't believe in your team.
No, right. I'm taking that bet. Got odds.
Gun. I asked Dorp to play Ash because he can score. Not that he don't score last night. Yeah, Dorp did stepped up. Yep. No Westbrook. Jim says, what 2-point cards would you use for tier 1? So, for me, tier 1 doesn't necessarily mean the guy I think is the best play. It means the guy I think is the best points per dollar that I'm going to have the most of in my own exposure. So, I have half a mind right now to use Reggie Jackson as a tier 1. So, I'm just get that out there.
I get it. The points, yeah, I get it.
And then the other guy would probably be Darren Fox. We'll talk more about that game in a little bit, but I got Fox for just a ridiculous amount of minutes and one of the highest totals of the season at home against a soft defense, and it's going to be a high-paced matchup. So points per dollar, Fox just seems like a 50-plus fantasy point game waiting to happen. So I'm there. Solo said no Westbrook. Are you saying you're not going to have Westbrook, or I didn't see any news? Okay, let me make sure you're not scaring me. So it says you can play chalk. You need to play chalk to win, but you need that 1 or 2 player under 5% owned. Yeah, especially these days. Let's move on to the...
On 10-game slate, I mean, I just think you could fade almost anybody you want, and there'll probably be a pivot who gets it done for you.
Yeah, I also on 10-game slate, like I wonder what chalk is. Like, like last night, I played a single entry. I posted it in chat, but half of my lineup was 50 to 70% on. It felt like I was playing a 50-50. Like, it was dumb.
I think Fox could be like 30 to 40% owned today.
Okay, I'll eat that though. Like,
which 30, is massive on a 10-game slate. That's like the equivalent to being like.
Though.
7,
I think so. I think it used to be, but it's not anymore. Like, that used to be an egregious number, but it's not anymore. Same with pitching. On baseball slates, we're seeing pitchers 50% own on big slates. So it's just the field is that sharp. So, but you're right with the pivots. Like, if Darren Fox is your highest owned point guard, there's plenty of pivots that have a similar range of outcomes, like Kyrie Irving, like Steph Curry, like guys like that. I think Fox just has the benefit of the minutes, the matchup, and being under 10K. So I don't. Chalk has a negative connotation just as is, but I think it needs to be absorbed with context, because not all chalk is bad chalk. Mavericks at the Grizzlies. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Mavericks: Luka Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, and Kristaps Porzingis. Where's Chronic at? Up against John Morant, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Kyle. The Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? And Jonas Valanciunas, a 225.5 total, 3-point spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. Here's a game that's kind of floating on the island, right? No one's going to have this one. Porzingis coming off a pretty decent stretch of games where it looked like he's showing up and showing out. We got a couple 50 burgers here. He's on the south side of 9K. We got 59, 55 in the last 2 games with 15 boards, 17 boards, 25-plus real points in a couple games straight. Kind of makes the back pocket long shot tournament tier 3 area for me. Luka Doncic could easily be the highest scorer on the slate. I think a lot of people are very soured with the right column on Luka, the fantasy point scored columm, but I mean, he's still Luka, right? If he drops 60 tonight, it's very valuable. I do think, like, I don't mean this in a, how do I say this? Raj, we see prices get adjusted so common in sports, right? In DFS. Yep. When players are tearing it up, like, their prices go up, and when they start slacking, their prices go down. How the F is Luka Doncic still 11K? When he,
name brand.
like he hasn't
dropped. Brand, you know? Yeah, when like Nike releases bad shoes, they're always still going to be like $250 regardless.
Yeah, I don't know. The dynamic pricing algorithm not getting it done right now for Luka. With that said, if we look at
from guys like him, Giannis, they'll never change.
I guess so. I don't know. If we look at his last 10, There's a couple blowouts here and there. Like, it's still Luka. I'm not going to run away from him, but on tonight's slate, he's definitely not a priority. And then, as one of the highest priced guys, he's got one of the highest responsibilities. I haven't projected at 53 fantasy points. That's right up there with the Westbrooks and the Currys for me. And on the Grizzlies side, I'm probably bowing out of Grizzlies exposure here. John Morant, 7K, maybe.
The disrespect to J-Val.
Yeah, I can get the J-Val.
30-minute J-Val. 30-minute J-Val is a 9K player. I'm literally going to play him every day until he's 9K if he's plays 32, 35 minutes every game.
40. Yeah, I need 45 minimum.
Yep.
Minimum. Like, I can't have margin for error tonight. This slate's too big. I can't get away with that. So, really nice stretch of 4 games. Really solid matchups here. Chicago, Indiana, New York, Atlanta. New York, not like the best spot, but not the worst spot. 20 real points for a big to play in that pace. I think, man.
And he played 26, 27, 26, 22 after that. The games before that where he played 30, 32, 32 against Utah, Houston, 45, 50. Like, every time he gets 32 minutes, his floor is 50.
All right. I'm gonna have J-Val. J-Val's a tier 3 for me. What do you think?
I think I'm really high on him. I mean,
so let's look forward. Look forward to the Kings game with Rashawn Holmes down.
Yeah. Oh, you want to play that Kings center carousel? Everyone thinks it's Hassan Whiteside until Damian Jones comes and starts like he did against.
I got Damian Jones starting.
Oh, you got Jones. I mean, I could see Jones, Whiteside. This kind of minute, both those guys played 20 minutes.
I could see them all hitting value though. But anyway, looking forward to that. Yes, and then we've already mentioned a couple of center eligible guys. Sabonis in a good spot. Christian Wood probably underpriced. So like realistically, how much exposure to Jonas Valanciunas do you have at 7-6?
I think it'll be a tier 2. I think a good 20%. I like him more than Christian Wood. 1v1, I'd take J-Val over Christian Wood any day of the week.
I just think I think his minutes are not as safe as Christian Wood's.
We've seen it. I mean, they've been consistent so far. I don't know if they've turned a new leaf, but I'm just going to keep riding the wave if he sees 35 minutes here. How's Dallas been against centers? That's the league question.
On the season, let's go to the team DVP chart, RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. Dallas has been about a league average matchup.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's get caught up on chat here. Don't forget about Harkless if Buddy's out. Come on, man. We're going to have the Mo Harkless, Lou Dort lineups winning all the money tonight. It's going to be great.
How could you be so?
What up, Tall? Shout out to you. What up, Donovan? A little Juan Toscano, maybe. All right, I'm gonna have J-Val. I didn't mean to write him off, but he's definitely tier 3. Like that's it. Like I will not have more than 25%.
I hear you.
And that's cap.
20% is probably where I'll end up at.
Okay. What about Porzingis?
Prestigious. With him.
Why is this?
I don't know how much I can really get to him. Like we mentioned Christian Wood. He's kind of 8-9 now. He's got a nice little tier 2, but with Sabonis there, Wood, J-Val. Man, I think it's tough to get to Porzingis. Want to say I want like in a 100 lineup, sure you can have your 10% or whatever, but that's a tough price tag. I mean, does he fall under Wood, Sabonis, J-Val? I do think Porzingis is kind of getting healthier and better. Has limited Luka's kind of massive games.
Yeah, also a positive block spot for Porzingis. The Grizzlies are one of the top 2 matchups for blocks allowed per game, and
like that.
It's all like there's a lot of teams tied for that. So it's not like the second most, but 5.8 blocks per game allowed. Porzingis is a sneaky block guy. So all right, John Morant 7K 7-1. Nah, yay, maybe.
I mean, he's there. He could have. He obviously has 50-point upside. Not in tier 1 though.
Miami Heat at the Denver Nuggets. Miami hit us with some news right as I went live, so This is subject to change, but the projected starting five that I had was Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy G, Buckets, Trevor Ariza, Bam Adebayo, taking on Facundo Campazzo, Will Barton, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic. On the Heat side, Heat coming off a back-to-back, going into the Denver altitude, a tough spot. We got Dragic out. And Jimmy G as a midday questionable. I usually treat midday questionables as closer to out than in. The Nuggets are entering life without Jamal Murray, which is a usage opportunity for Jokic at 10-9 on FanDuel, 10.6K on DK. It is not a great individual defensive matchup against Bam Adebayo. However, Jokic is matchup proof. So, I want to take a minute to maybe go look at the Vegas information on this one to see if the line has moved while we've been on the air. Because obviously, Butler would on no Butler, no Depot, no Dragic on a back-to-back would certainly probably be worth more than 5 points. So Denver, I got Denver moving to 6 and the total at 209. So we'll see if there's more movement as Butler's definitive status comes out. If Butler was out, Kendrick Nunn at 4,600 probably plays a lot of minutes. And, you know, it's just one of those minutes equals opportunity equals money things. So I'd probably have some. I don't think I would high tier him just because I think the slate's going to give us a ton of options. Tyler Hero had a really rough game last night. He should likely be second on the team in minutes if Jimmy Butler was out. And then Bam Adebayo might be a fun click at 8-1, 8-3. It's going to be hard to really feel great about that as a big on a back-to-back, but 40-plus fantasy points is in the wheelhouse. On the Nuggets side, Jokic, 10-9, 10-6 without Jamal Murray. He's had a couple of opportunities as of late without Jamal Murray, and then the game that Jamal Murray started. So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to go to this on-off court tool, the free tool from Fantasy Labs. I'm going to take off Jamal Murray as soon as I find him. There we go. Work eyes. And I'm going to put on Jokic, but I'm also going to put on Aaron Gordon to kind of give me a more finite sample size of, because a lot of people have made that correlation that Aaron Gordon's taken out Jokic's upside. So when I do that, I get 125 minutes of sample size of Jokic, Gordon on, Murray off. Jokic is at a 35% usage rate, a fantasy point per minute. Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. also about a fantasy point per minute. So is Will Barton. So not a ton of minute sample size to like believe, but it is a spot where Jokic can continue this MVP campaign and be the highest scorer on this slate. And if people are prioritizing the Westbrooks, the Currys, the De'Aaron Foxes, the Kyries, are they going to have money for that high-end center? And Jokic could easily be the highest scoring center or highest scoring player on this slate. So with that information, knowing that Jamal Murray is down, where are you preparing to list Jokic in your exposure levels tonight? Is he a tier 2? Because that's where I think I'm putting him as a soft tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, 10-6, he's basically fighting against the Westbrook Currys of the world. I mean, they could all be the highest scorer of the slate. No Jamal Murray, good spot. I think we actually saw this game with no Jimmy Butler already this season, so we have some sample size. He dropped 42 on him last time. Bam Adebayo is a respectable defender, definitely an elite defender at the position, so not the best matchup. But again, no Jamal Murray, should see a ton of usage here. I mean, I think he's fine to keep in the pool. Is he my favorite 10K plus stud? No. I think he probably falls third or fourth. Let's go. I mean, if you look at all the expensive guys you're playing, I'm probably playing Westbrook over him. I think I like Curry over him too. I like Fox over him, though he's about 1,000 cheaper. And then maybe Jokic after those guys. Like Luka versus Jokic is intriguing.
Is it though?
Or is it just Jokic? I think Luka has a better matchup.
Dude, I don't know, man. Jokic is just kind of matchup proof. Jokic at home.
It's gonna be a slower game
Murray,
too.
But slow is not a bad thing, I think, for Jokic either. So I would say his floor is right now. His floor is higher than Luka. And his ceiling is the same as most of those guys we mentioned. Triple-double threat. Like if he drops 70 tonight, it's not a shot. So I
shocked.
think tier 2 is the right answer for me. What about the rest of the Nuggets? Aaron Gordon, MPJ, Will Barton. Will Barton's intriguing for me because I have him leading the team in minutes. And that's an opportunity going against a Heat team that already surrenders to second most points in the league via the 3-ball. You know, maybe he gets hot from behind the arc and chucks some threes. Are you going to play this value point guard situation? I'm not sure if it's going to be Campazzo or Monte Morris drawing the actual start here, but I got 25 minutes on them both as a kind of like safe projection. And I guess FanDuel's kind of priced them up, but on DraftKings, 3,700 for Campazzo, 38 for Monte Morris. That's a chip in a chair for value. Could we get that 25 fantasy point game out of him? I think that's a crazy expectation. So a lot of question marks here. But yeah, overall low total. If you knew right this second that Jimmy Butler's out to join Goran Dragic being down, is 4,600 Kendrick Nunn or 5,500 Tyler Hero doing anything to you?
They have to be in the pool. The usage, it's going to be there. Someone else is going to have to score other than Bam. I think Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn probably want a decent chunk of both. Like, I think Tyler Hero or Kendrick Nunn's the same play as like a Reggie Jackson.
You're coming for me. You coming for me.
I'm saying, so if you're going to tier 1 hit, what's the difference between Kendrick Nunn and Reggie Jackson?
Your mother, that's the difference. Kendrick Nunn or Reggie Jackson? Come on, man.
Okay, or Tyler Hero or Reggie Jackson.
I just think they, like, I feel like Nunn and Hero are more likely to disappear than Reggie Jackson is. Because Bam Adebayo could take over, have his triple double flirt game. I like Nunn and Hero, but I feel like right now I got Reggie for floor. But I definitely would personally be struggling with my own exposures to Hero and Nunn, because that is a decision to make. Maybe we try and get a little bit of history sample size here. So let's go to the on-off court tool. Let's take off Dragic. Let's take off Jimmy Butler. Run that. And then let's put on... Shoot, I guess we got to take off Olynyk and all those other cats too. Depot too, Olynyk. Man, I guess they would just have to play so many minutes, man. It's not going to be a Max Struss night.
Nah.
All right, so Nunn. I'm just gonna let that run as is and see where Nunn and Hero land for me. 27% usage on Bam Adebayo, 28% on Hero. Adebayo's about a 1.2 fantasy point per minute. Nunn's about a fantasy point per minute with a 25. Yeah, I guess I gotta do it. Mathematically, it seems like the right decision to get there. Now, this is a 10 p.m. game. So, realistically, we likely don't have definitive Jimmy Butler news by 7, right?
Yeah.
Would you just kind of bank on the midday questionable, meaning Butler's out?
Yeah, I'm assuming Butler's out.
Okay. I like MPJ to take Murray shots tonight. Says that. Okay, I don't mind that. Y'all feeling any cheap centers 4 to 8K? 4 to 8K? That's not cheap. Yeah, plenty of centers between 4 and 8K. Jakob Poeltl, Christian Wood, guys like that. Reggie's hot garbage. I'm telling you, Reggie has 40 fantasy point potential tonight. I'm telling you. All right, chat. We got one game left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause and do a PrizePicks plug. If you guys are looking for a way to better reward your daily DFS research, man, you have to check out PrizePicks, especially a slate this big where you have taken the time to go through every game, understand who gets the boost, who gets the downgrade based on players being in and out. There is edge to be had on some of these individual player props, and sometimes you just can't play everybody in DFS, but you can go out there and put a little bit of action on these guys in on PrizePicks and prop betting and parlays. So go check out PrizePicks. First of all, if you sign up using Gundacker, they are going to match your first deposit up to $100. So you sign up, say I'm gonna throw a Benjamin add-in. They're gonna throw you $200, and then on top of that, if you hit me up and say, "Gun, I signed up. I used code Gundecker," I'm gonna write your name down. Every morning they send me a list of people that sign up using the referral. And then I'm going to give you a free week of RunDFS.com VIP, and that's going to get you into that RunDFS.com premium Discord, the NBA VIP spreadsheet, and the baseball spreadsheet. So check that out if you guys want to see what PrizePicks looks like. It looks a little bit like this. And essentially what you can do for every sport, NBA, baseball, PGA, hockey, you can go through and make parlays out of player props, and the props for basketball are based on fantasy points, and then you can individually bet their points, assists, rebounds, and three-pointers made. So some of the stuff that we've talked about thus far, like I mentioned, Reggie Jackson had like a 34% assist rate in the current scheme without Kawhi, without Paul George, without Lou Williams, without Patrick Beverly. So if I control F Reggie Jackson, let me just control F Jackson, he's not offered. Okay, well, that's interesting. You guys can kind of sift through here and understand and bet what may behoove you, what may not behoove you. That Milwaukee game starting in like 10 minutes too, by the way, if you guys are playing that showdown game. And then they have first half bets. They've also added baseball. You can bet on strikeout props, and you can bet on baseball fantasy score. And they've added in the last couple days hits and walks, runs and RBIs, and total bases. You guys can make a parlay as little as 2 legs, as many as 5, 10x your return, or get you that flex play where you can get paid even if you miss one. So check out PrizePicks. I love it. It's addictive, but it's a great way on a big slate like this to really, really make some sharp tickets and get a little bit of bang for your buck. Main event tonight, Wizards at the Sacramento Kings. Project starting 5 for the Wizards: Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Danny Advia, Adija. I always just start saying that name and I just let whatever comes out of my mouth finish it. Rui Hachimura, Alex Len taking on De'Aaron Fox. Buddy Hield, he is questionable with an illness. Mo, how could you be so heartless? Harrison Barnes and Damian Jones, maybe a 241.5 star total, a 2-point spread in favor of the Washington Wizards. This is a massive, massive total. Go check out the Sacramento Kings injury news and notes. We'll start with Buddy Hield. Q-tag based on having an illness. He was a late scratch on Monday's loss to the Pelicans. Tyrese Halliburton replaced him in the starting lineup. That would probably be the case again today if Hield can't go. Also, Rashawn Holmes listed as doubtful, which opens up a potential next man up opportunity for Damian Jones and Hassan Whiteside. And I know Whiteside's kind of the name that a lot of us really want to get behind. Also, a little bit of a history between Alex Len and Hassan Whiteside. They've both had a in-game fight before where it resulted in double ejection. So Damian Jones did start the second half in place of Rashawn Holmes during that last game and ended up playing 19 total minutes. Whiteside may not be ready conditioning-wise to play a deep load of minutes, but we know Whiteside can be very valuable per minute. So if we can get Whiteside to even a 20-minute projection, I'm willing to play some Hassan Whiteside. I think this matchup is fast enough paced with enough peripherals going around that 30 fantasy points in 20 minutes is not a crazy range of outcomes. You look at his game log, you see 18 minutes against Atlanta, 28. A lot of well over point per minute production. Earlier this season, 19 minutes against Washington, dropped 16, so a little less than a point per minute that game. But at 3,600, there could be an incredible opportunity should he get closer to a split with Damian Jones. And even Damian Jones is in play as a bare bones mid-price guy on both sites. Harrison Barnes, I got him for 37 minutes. If I go check out my player projections, he might be the highest on the slate. Maybe guys like Miles Bridges is up there as well. But looking at my minute projections sorted by most to least, let it load. Any minute now. Boom. I got Julius Randle, De'Aaron Fox, Miles Bridges, and Harrison Barnes is tied for Fox and Bridges. So I got them tied for the second most minutes on the slate. So may not be a fun click, but if you're going to get 37 minutes against the Washington Wizards, I'm a buyer. Metrically, this is two of the worst defenses in all in basketball. Matching up, the Wizards bring a fast-paced style of play to create maximum amount of possessions for both teams, and I think there's just a slew of fantasy points to go around. I'm going to be extremely high on De'Aaron Fox, potentially a tier 1. I might end up being high tier on Harrison Barnes, and then we'll run it back gladly with Russell Westbrook, and then you just feel like Bradley Beal might be a little bit too cheap if this turns into one of his 30 to 40 real point games. Could we get 50 fantasy points as a range of outcome? Drop 48 and a quarter in 37 minutes at Utah. He was on his Lou Dort grind, and now he catches the Sacramento Kings. Earlier this season, he dropped just 42 against the Kings. But I tell you what, a little bit on the south side of 9K, 42 is not the end of the world. But give me Westbrook and Fox as two guys going at each other. And then Harrison Barnes is very, very intriguing to me. I don't want to get too creative with the rest of the Wizards here. I got 11 guys right now that I have projected for double-digit minutes. Gafford's back in the mix to kind of make that triangle of Alex Len, Gafford, Robin Lopez kind of unplayable for me on this size slate. But I will be heavy on the Kings. I think you could load up on Halliburton, Fox, Harrison Barnes, and even Mo Harkless. As hard as it is to say, if he's going to play these type of minutes in this type of matchup at 3,700 on DK, 29 and 30 fantasy points back-to-back games, like Mo Harkless might be a core value for me on DraftKings. Raj, what are you doing with this game? Any hot takes?
No hot. I think it's pretty straightforward. Sacramento side, Fox, Barnes, Mo Harkless, and even Hassan Whiteside or Jones, depending on who starts, who you think will get more minutes. Washington side, you play Westbrook, you play Beal, like you mentioned, at that price tag. He could have 40 real life points, maybe push 50 in this spot. Just a game target. Buddy Hield, questionable. It opens up even more. It seems like a spot you can't fail. Just load up on this game. Probably have multiple guys in every lineup from this game.
Yeah. The entire Astros just got put on the IL, basically. What?
Saw that.
What happened? What? How? How do you lose that 4 players like that? Maldonado, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, and Jose Altuve. It's IL, not the COVID list. IL.
Actually.
Like, yeah, like what happened? Did they get in a car wreck? Like what?
Karma.
I'm just literally curious. Like that seems like way more than a coincidence. Like they didn't all get hurt last night, right? Jeez. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Chat, if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, plays that you like that maybe we brushed over, or maybe you guys missed out on the first part of the stream before we got disconnected, we got plenty of time to catch up here. Now that we've kind of digested every game, I think it's really a waiting game when it comes to news. We're waiting on Jimmy Butler news, then of course a couple of these Q tags, and hopefully no curveballs coming our way. But now that I'm looking at it, thinking about some of the value plays here, Mo Harkless. I think I just really the biggest question mark for me is going to be Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn. I don't think we have the Butler news in time, but I feel like I like Reggie more than Kendrick Nunn, and that might just be like a bias thing, but I'm there on Reggie right now. And then I feel like Mo Harkless is probably gonna make a lot of my DraftKings lineups. I don't know, who are your favorite value guys? Like, are you gonna lean on a core 3 or 4 guys for unmissable value? Because we also got Malachi Flynn, which is right there at kind of the price points of the Reggies, and not that far from the Kendrick Nunns and the Tyler Heroes. Flynn seems like he could play 40 minutes tonight, right? So I don't know. Are you gonna get into that Heat value hardcore or not?
I don't think you need to. Like I said, they're a little risky, like not the most comfortable clicks. I probably won't get to the Heat as like core value. I think I do prefer Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris Sr. kind of over Tyler Hero and Nunn. Thinking about it now, Sacramento guys will probably be core too, right? So I don't think you need to get to the Heat.
Des said, do you like Reggie more than Malachi? I think if I let the checklist go 1v1, I got to go Flynn because he's probably going to play all of the minutes. Reggie, there's still other guards that could take over. I do like Reggie quite a bit. I think Reggie could drop 40, but I think Malachi Flynn would probably have to win the seesaw there on pre-flop expectations and pre-flop responsibility based on minutes. It says undisclosed on labs. I would almost guess, like, to have 4 people middle of the day, like, they had to get in a car accident or something. That would be my guess. There's no way. Like, they had to be, it had to be something like that. It says undisclosed, so yeah, it's probably a car accident. I don't know. Chat, tomorrow, like I said, I will not be on this channel for, I probably just won't be on this channel for the next 2 days. I'm going to be on the Osmo channel. I think me and Osmo are doing a baseball stream tomorrow and Friday. So it's always cool to work with the big dog and talk some baseball. So if you guys are looking for some baseball analysis, go check me out over there tomorrow. I would do NBA stuff, but man, these days, if we did a noon NBA stream, it would be completely irrelevant by the time lock hit, right? Like, I don't know, man. It's up to you guys, and I don't know if you guys are trying to get out of bed that early too. So if not, then we'll just stick with what we got. We will have coverage in the RunDFS.com VIP, even without live streams. We will have pre-lock voice chats. If you guys want to be part of that, go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account. Click this banner right here. It'll take you to it. There's plenty of passes. There's week passes, 2 week passes, month passes, all that good stuff. If you guys have any questions about that, hit me up on Twitter. But what it does is it unlock immediate access to the NBA spreadsheet, the baseball spreadsheet, and the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. This is a great hub to get you guys in tune with everything that's going on and sweat the slate with a ton of people, like-minded DFS grinders at every bankroll level. We know Russ hit for almost 200K in the last month. Always be placing hit for $1 million on Sunday. His second million maker in 5 months. We have literal DFS millionaires as part of this community. Pav, shout out to Pav. I don't know if he's watching, but he's from across the pond. We're worldwide here. So, and it's everyone just gels. It's such a fun community. So come be part of that. We will be in the RunDFS.com NBA voice chat. But we will be there, and I will be talking both baseball and basketball. So don't feel obligated to just be there for one or the other. You can ask questions about anything, or you could type them in chat, or you could just listen in and listen to me, Raj, and Chronic yell Porzingis, Hoya, and Michael Jordan versus LeBron debates, because that's going to break out too.
LeBron the GOAT.
Yeah, okay. Can you really give up a guard spot for Reggie Gunn? I can, but understand that I'm not speaking from a one lineup standpoint. I think tonight I'll just run like 20 or 25. I may get a little crazy and do 50, but on these big slates, it has such a wide range of outcomes that I'm not going to get too overzealous, because it's a lot. It's overwhelming. Value plays: Okoro, whoa, Harkless, yeah, Birch, yeah, Frank Jackson, Juan Toscano, Tice maybe, Ariza. I'm on Harkless and Birch with you though. Gunn, I'm having trouble coming up with a small forward tonight on FanDuel, I'm assuming. Let me go to the player projections tab. Again, all these projections need to get swept ASAP. A lot of stuff happened after I put them in. So I'm going to search small forward on my projections, and you're looking for some small forward help. I do think Brandon Ingram's going to profile as one of the better raw point guys because of the potential absence or the likely absence of Lonzo. Michael Porter's up there. It's a hard click at that price point, but he makes sense. Miles Bridges probably going to play a dumb amount of minutes, so I'll probably still have a lot of that. Kevin Porter, maybe. RJ Barrett. Kent Bazemore at 5-1. That's a hard click, right? I know Oubra's out, but a 5K, don't feel like I'm getting a fantastic deal. If we did know Buddy Hield was active, I could see him being a chip in a chair for 30. Lou Dort, 5,700, small forward, man. Lou Dort, tier 1? Question mark.
I don't know about tier 1, but he'll be in the 4.
Yeah, and again, to touch on Lou Dort, I still think he can will you to 30 fantasy points on an average game. Last night was anomalaic. Don't play him for what he did last night, but I do think the peripherals are there for him today. So, yeah, those are some options for me. And if you really wanted some value here, does look like Caleb Martin projects pretty well, 8.16x value, but actually I think that's before the Terry Rozier is probable, so that's probably going to die. I got to update all this. So if you guys are subscribers, we'll have that fixed here in a minute. I can't play TLC, nah. Maybe Caleb, Joe Harris. Joe Harris is so scoring dependent that he could walk away with 20, 25 real points and not necessarily be a great play. But I would, like, if you think he has to step up, he does. There's not a whole lot of mainstay offense there. I also think Jeff Green could be a little on the cool sly. Any Troy Brown? I don't have any at the moment, but that could change as I expand. But in 20 lineups, I'm going to try and keep it tight and just really make some hard stands. And understand there's going to be great plays that you can't play. And it's just going to be that way. But that's it. Raj, hot take. This might be the last stream until...
hot take will be Steph Curry's the highest scorer on the slate.
That's not a hot take. That's what my projections say.
Oh, shit. Well, goddamn. The projections are on one today.
I mean, we literally talked about that, but
I don't think he'd be the highest scorer in the slate.
I mean that might change, but my early projections, if I sort it by DKP, I had Steph Curry at 55, I think. Said it. So yeah, I had him as the highest projected fantasy point scorer on the slate, above Luka. So hot take there, buddy.
It's one of those days. I don't know what else. I mean, another hot take will be, who in Washington? Guys, maybe Whiteside or Damian Jones. None of those guys get the value.
Yeah, that's a hot take. All right, I'll probably have tier. Oh, man, dude, am I gonna tier 1 Harrison Barnes? I'll probably have a dumb amount of Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, I like Harrison Barnes. Don't hate it.
Yeah. All right, chat. That's gonna do it. Raj, I'll catch you in a little bit. Let me get out of here because then the music will cut off. I will be back. So I will definitely be streaming the MLB The Show launch, probably on launch. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it here or on Twitch. Probably on Twitch, but if there is a market here for some of you late night grinders, might do it on the YouTube channel just to have something up because I don't expect to have content in terms of a live stream the next 2 days because I will be over on the Osmo channel. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. I'm sorry for the early technical difficulties in the first half of the stream. Looks like it was a YouTube thing. We're all good now. But if you guys got more for me, twitter.com/Gundacker, otherwise 24/7 premium Discord. I'm in there all the time. You can tag me and several of the sharpest members of the DFS community, man. I appreciate you guys. I hope you win all of the money tonight and crush it. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.